Here's a surprising fact. 80% of new aquarium owners give up within the first year due to problems related to their improper cycling. But you won't be one of them. In this video, we're going to show you a foolproof method to cycle your tank in 4 weeks. Get ready to join the successful 20% who create thriving aquatic environments. Now, you might be wondering, what's this cycling thing all about? Well, it's like hiring a tiny cleaning crew for your fish tank. These beneficial bacteria break down harmful waste and keep the water safe for your fish. Without them, your aquarium becomes a toxic mess real quick. I know there's a ton of confusing advice out there about cycling. Trust me, I've been there. But here's the thing. It doesn't have to be complicated. By the end of this video, you'll have a simple step-by-step plan to cycle your tank. No fancy products, no headaches, just a healthy home for your fish. So are you ready to set up your tank the right way? Let's dive in. Now, what if I told you the key to perfect cycling is already in your backyard? Yep, a pinch of dirt might be all you need to kickstart your tank's ecosystem. Sounds crazy, right? But stick with me, because this simple trick could save you weeks of frustration. Let's break down our 4-week wonder method. First things first, set up your tank with water and your basic equipment, filter, heater, the works. Now, here's where we get a little unconventional. Go out back, grab a pinch of dirt from your garden or some well-composted material. I know what you're thinking. Won't this make my tank dirty? Trust me, it's all a part of the process. This tiny amount of dirt is like a starter pack for your beneficial bacteria. It's packed with the microscopic helpers your tank needs to get the nitrogen cycle going. Think of it as inviting the cleaning crew to move in before the mess even starts. Now, let your tank run. That's it. No daily water tests, no expensive bacteria in a bottle products, no stress. Just let nature do its thing. You might see some brown gunk forming on your filter media. That's good. It's a sign your bacterial colonies are setting up shop. You know, this method isn't just simple, it's smart. We're mimicking what happens in nature and bodies of water. Rivers and lakes don't need us dumping in bottles of bacteria or chemicals. They have their own cycles, their own balance. And that's exactly what we're recreating in our tank. Here's why this method is a game changer. First of all, it saves you money. No need for pricey cycling products or testing kits. It saves you time too. Instead of hovering over your tank, testing water daily and stressing about parameters, you can sit back and let nature work its magic. But most importantly, it reduces stress for you and your future fish. By allowing beneficial bacteria to establish themselves naturally, you're creating a stable, healthy environment. When it's time to add fish, they'll be swimming into a well-balanced home, not a chemical soup. One crucial tip: resist the urge to clean your filter during these 4 weeks. I know it might look gunky, but that dirt is actually your beneficial bacteria hard at work. Cleaning it now would be like firing your cleaning up crew before the job's done. You ready to set up your tank the right way? Awesome. But here's the thing. There's a reason why 4 out of 5 new aquarium owners throw in the towel. It's not because they're lazy or careless. It's because they fall into some common traps that can turn cycling into a total nightmare. Let's break down these pitfalls and show you how to avoid them. First off, let's talk about the 2 main cycling methods you've probably heard of. Fish in cycling is exactly what it sounds like. You add fish to your new tank right away. Sounds simple, right? Well, not so fast. This method can seriously stress out your fish because of the toxic ammonia that builds up before those helpful bacteria get established. On the other hand, fishless cycling lets you build up that bacteria crew without putting any fish at risk. Sounds better, doesn't it? But here's where things get a little tricky. There's so much conflicting advice out there about how to do fishless cycling that it's enough to make your head spin. But you know what really grinds my gears? Those bacteria in a bottle products that promise to instantly cycle your tank. I hate to break it to you, but most of these are about as useful as snake oil. A study even showed that many popular cycling products don't work as advertised. It's just a waste of your time and money. Now, I'm not saying all products are bad, but relying on quick fixes instead of understanding the nitrogen cycle, that's a recipe for disaster. The nitrogen cycle is this amazing natural process that we're trying to recreate in our tanks. But if you don't get it, how it works, you're going to have a bad time. Here's where a lot of folks go wrong. They overcomplicate things. They throw in every product they can find, fiddle with the water constantly, and stress themselves out trying to follow some complicated 20-step process they found online. But guess what? Nature's been doing this cycle thing for millions of years without any help from us. So what's the solution? We're going to keep it simple, really simple. We're talking back to the basics, work with nature, kind of simple. No fancy products, no complicated procedures, just patience and the right knowledge. All right, so we've got your tank set up and our cleanup crew moving in. But what happens next? Get ready for a roller coaster of changes that'll make you question everything you thought you knew about clear water. Remember that brown gunk we mentioned earlier? It's actually a sign you're doing everything right. But let's break down what you expect during these 4 weeks of cycling. Week 1 might seem pretty uneventful. Your water looks clear and you might be thinking, this is easy. Hold that thought because things are about to get interesting. By week 2, you might notice your water getting a bit cloudy. Don't panic. This is totally normal. It's like your tank is going through its awkward teenage phase. Now, here's where a lot of folks make a big mistake. They see that cloudy water and immediately want to do something about it. Clean the filter, change the water, anything to get that crystal clear look back. But here's the thing. That cloudiness is actually a good sign. It means your beneficial bacteria are multiplying and doing their job. You might also notice a slight odor during this time. Again, totally normal. Think of it as your tank's way of saying, hey, I'm working here. It's tempting to try and fix these things, but the best thing you can do right now is nothing. Yep, you heard that right. Sometimes the hardest part of cycling is just letting nature do its thing. By week 3, you might start seeing things clear up a bit. Your water might not be perfectly clear yet, but you should notice an improvement. This is when your patience really starts to pay off. Those beneficial bacteria are settling in and getting to work. By week 4 is when the magic happens. Often, aquarists wake up one morning to find their tank is cleared up dramatically overnight. It's like your aquarium decided to get its act together all at once. Pretty cool, right? Now, I know this process can be stressful, especially for beginners. You might be constantly tempted to intervene to fix things, but remember, every time you clean that filter or do a big water change, you're potentially disrupting those developing bacterial colonies. It's like kicking out your cleaning crew before they finish the job. I remember my first time using this method. I was so nervous watching my tank go through these changes. But when I woke up on day 28 to a crystal clear tank, it felt like Christmas morning. That's the power of patience and trusting the process. So, how do you stay on track during these 4 weeks? Simple. Monitor your tank, but resist the urge to make drastic. Keep feeding that imaginary fish. Remember, we're doing fishless cycling here. And most importantly, trust the process. Nature's been doing this a lot longer than we have. All right, let's wrap this up. We've walked through our simple 4-week cycling method, and I hope you're feeling confident about starting your own aquarium. Remember, the key here is keeping things simple. No need for fancy products or complicated steps. Just a bit of dirt, some patience, and trust in the process. You might be tempted to fiddle with your tank during those 4 weeks, especially when things are starting looking a little bit funky. But that urge. Nature's got this under control. Your job is to sit back and let those beneficial bacteria do their thing. You've got all the tools you need to create an awesome underwater world. Patience is your secret weapon here. So go ahead, set that tank, and get ready for some amazing aquarium adventures.